Argentina, like much of South America, generally likes its politics left of center, and we were warned we'd get an earful about the U.S. government. But we also heard a lot that surprised us. Our first stop, the working-class neighborhood of La Boca, one of the oldest in Buenos Aires. La Boca is famous for two things, being the birthplace of tango and being home to one of the world's best soccer teams. On a side street off the main square, local journalist Hugo Mayo hosts a weekly radio program. Mayo is a well-known figure in La Boca, so we decided to sit in to see what he had to say.
I think Bush is a dictator, but that's just my opinion. And I'm not speaking about the people of the United States. It's not their fault, but we'd like to see someone else in charge.
Mayo's program is freewheeling, quickly moving from politics to sports to issues like education and health care. I asked Mayo about Argentina's system of guaranteed health care, thinking it would be a point of pride for someone of his political persuasion. How about health care? Which system do you think is better? The one in Argentina or the American system?
Don't even bring it up. You go to the hospitals here, you can't even find cotton balls. The health system here in Argentina is a disaster. You need an operation today, they give you a date 3 months from now. What's the use of health care as free? You can't even compare the two systems.
Today, another of Argentina's social ills, rising crime, was also on Mayo's mind.
Here, you kill, you steal, and 4 days later, you're out in the street. Although we may have our criticisms of the United States, there's a lot we admire. I think I speak for everyone when I say we wish our criminal justice system was a lot like yours.
One of Mayo's co-hosts agreed, although her impressions of American police work seemed more from the movies.
In the U.S., if a policeman is chasing someone, they have permission to shoot them. Here, the police don't have that authority.
Later that day, we traveled north to the neighborhood of Palermo. It's only a few miles, but a world away from La Boca, full of art galleries and outdoor cafes. At a restaurant on the main plaza, we met Sergio Kiernan and Carlos Gervasoni. Kiernan is an editor at one of Argentina's largest newspapers, Gervasoni, a political scientist. Any stories in the United States get your attention? Any issues?
Shootings.
What kind of shootings?
People getting killed in universities,
School
shootouts,
shootings.
school shootings.
Tell me about it. What do you think?
I don't know. It certainly gets my attention that these things seem to happen quite often.
Like Virginia Tech?
Yeah, that's the one that comes to mind now, but you know, there have been several other ones before and after the Virginia Tech.
What they really can't believe is bridges falling down on people, highways collapsing, phones not working, the U.S. Post Service, losing millions of letters.
Problems with our infrastructure.
Right. I can't believe that. How did the United States get to that point?
Kiernan has traveled frequently to the U.S. Gervasoni has studied there. Both men are closely following the U.S. election, crediting John McCain and Barack Obama with raising the level of political discourse.
I guess we all have forgotten, Americans could talk politics like that, particularly Obama's race speech. It was very low to attack him on that side. And suddenly, instead of running for cover, he did something that is the intelligent people, great people do. He made it even more complicated. He gave that very complex speech. He didn't say, I'm like this. He said, look, I'm a very complicated guy.
When it comes to American politics, Kiernan and Gervasoni say Argentines are keenly interested in one issue Americans hardly ever think about: big subsidies the U.S. government pays American farmers.
That's going to hurt Argentina and Brazil and any developing country that has a big agricultural sector. And you don't see Republicans or Democrats doing much to change that policy.
At one point, our conversation turns to the politics of scandals and the revelations about John Edwards having cheated on his cancer-stricken wife. Kiernan, the newspaper man, offered his thoughts about the American media.
You hear the pundits talking about he's not reliable, he's a liar, and this and that. Of course he's a liar. He's going to, do what? go tell everybody that he's meeting her at hotels. Of course everybody lies about that, but it's natural. Without that kind of lies, society couldn't work. We don't publish those things.
Still, from the cafes of Palermo to the streets of La Boca, most Argentines say there's a lot to like about the U.S., warts and all. I'm Edie Magnus reporting for Worldfocus from Buenos Aires.